doing my research for this project, I came across a very special term, one that was very, very intriguing to me. It's called acute toxicity. Basically, after taking the drug within the 24-hour period, these drugs can have certain effects on your brain and on your body. And research has actually shown that heroin has the greatest amount of acute toxicity. It actually binds to the opioid receptors in the brain, and in many areas, especially in areas like when it comes to feelings and pain and pleasure, and it controls your heart rate and sleeping and breathing. Prescription opioids like meds such as Oxycontin and Vicodin, they have similar effects to heroin, and they could create dependence. Now, you don't want to become dependent on these drugs. I mean, who really wants to be dependent on the drugs? But that's a whole other story. Anyway, nearly 80% of Americans using heroin reported misusing prescription opioids first. It all starts with something, right? Marijuana offers long-term adverse effects by putting abusers at risk. An increased risk of chronic cough, bronchitis, lung and upper airway cancers that could eventually lead to many more harmful effects to your body. Also, depression and anxiety are possible. You don't want to be depressed, trust me. Acute toxicity. Pause. So now, my second point, effects on finances. The effects on the money that these illicit drugs can bring is astronomical. It really is, guys. I can't tell you enough. Your money, it matters. How you live, how you feed your kids, yourself, I mean, everything. They say it makes the world go round, right? But that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other story. Cocaine is referred to as the rich man's drug, okay? It costs about $60 a gram. $60 a gram, just in case you didn't hear me. It's one of the most expensive party drugs known to man. Yet 1.5 million Americans still use it regularly. How? Oh, they find ways. Each year, Americans spend about $37 billion on cocaine. But the cost of medical care and hospital visits, they exceed that amount. In 2011 alone, there were 500,000 emergency room visits from cocaine users. 500,000. The effects on finances, ladies and gentlemen, it's astronomical. My third point, ladies and gentlemen, effects on children and family. Now, this may be one of the most important, pivotal, vital effects of them all. Your children and family, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, if they're not important to you, then we have to have a talk, okay? Yeah, me and you, yes. Honestly, when it comes to me thinking about my family, I want to do the best I can for them, and I want to put myself in the best position I could possibly be in to provide for them. The drug users that use these illicit drugs that we have covered for you today, they don't do that. They do the very opposite of that. The implications of drug use extend far beyond the user, often damaging relationships in families and communities, and even the greater society that surrounds them. 250,000 to 350,000, that's the number of children that belong to drug users in the UK. So this is not just a issue that is here at home. No. This is a global problem that is spreading far beyond the United States of America. The usage of drugs can change the emotional stability of these users, of these parents, of these husbands, of these wives, these brothers, these sisters, etc. And it would do it in such a way that it would bring negative effects to the family system as a whole. Misplaced expressions of anger can impact the home dramatically. These misplaced expressions of anger can cause different problems that will then lead to the children not doing well in school, maybe not being the best that he or she can be, and these are problems that are avoidable. The biggest effect on the community may be the users requiring increasing amounts of drugs to provide the same high. And they will do anything that they have to get these drugs, even if it means committing crimes. These crimes can be committed on you, and it can affect your family, maybe your neighbor's family. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, the effects of these illicit drugs, they're scary, and they're nothing to be trifled with. Estimated to commit about 36 million drug-motivated crimes yearly. People are estimated to commit about 36 million drug crimes yearly. That's a lot of crimes. That's a lot of drugs. These drugs, ladies and gentlemen, these illicit drugs, they should be illegal, okay? I feel like I hammered these points to you well enough to show you that these drugs should be illegal. And if you argue with me from this point forward, I feel sorry for you.